link in bio in your spouse. And if you're lucky, there's a link in my bio to my OnlyFans. And by OnlyFans, I mean the one Dyson fan I have that watches me while I sleep. Oh, I look like the OnlyFans logo because it's the blue and white. No. So we're back again. All of you have loved the series of items I would never buy as an interior designer, or items that I would just never have in my home personally. So I figured let's just keep it going because there are so many wild decor, furniture pieces, textiles, artwork that honestly make me question my career choice. So let's get into it. First on the list are exposed light bulbs, which are super trendy right now. I fell into this trap, and let me tell you, it was a complete disaster and I regretted it probably the second day of having them. I have always loved those Sputnik light fixtures, but let me tell you, those exposed bulbs, when you actually see the bulb itself, they give you so much glare, they give you so much reflection, and they actually are more off-putting in your space than you think that they are. I know we all want to bring in those extra lamps, bulbs throughout to really kind of light up that space and create a sense of intimacy. These lights do the complete opposite. Even if you get those 2,000 to 2,700K rated light bulbs, no matter where you are in the room, the corner is always going to give you a sense of glare and really bad reflection that ends up being a little bit more daunting in your space and does the complete opposite of giving you a cozy vibe. I know most of these bulbs are all warm and beautiful looking, but anything that is exposed is not going to be great for your space. I will always recommend getting a frosted glass or something to really diffuse that light bulb. If you can see the filaments in the bulb, then it is already a red flag. Please stay away from it. This goes for any fixture in your home. Second on the chopping block is themed objects or literal decor. And I am directly pointing this at bathrooms with water and underwater just shell themes. We all know the ones. I know my mom. Sorry, Mom, you're probably going to see this, but your bathroom with the seashells everywhere and the water landscape and the seashell faucet and the seashell mirror are not doing anything for your space. It literally looks like you walked in to just like a themed decor room. And I get it. I don't understand why this was so big. Like every single person had an underwater themed bathroom. I'm not sure if everyone was just like constipated in the 90s and early 2000s and just like seeing the motion of water helped you, you know, do what you need to do in the bathroom, but it is not doing anything for your space. It looks and comes off super kitschy. Like it just looks like a water park display. And I mean, if that's what you're going for, then by all means have that in your home. But like those water bathrooms are just not it. I would never recommend anyone having a theme. There's a difference between a theme and a concept. A theme is those literal object items. Like you're going for a beach theme look, people will have seashells, they will have anchors, they will have ships. I want you to break that down into consideration and actually having those items a little bit more conceptually approached. If you like that water theme, look for blue shades. If you like seashells, look at the texture. Maybe there's a wallpaper or something you can include into that. If you like the overall shape of the shell itself, you can find something that is minorly mimicked in a mirror or the lights that can really give you that beautiful concept without coming off too literal. I know every designer will tell you this is the last thing to avoid is have these literal items. Like I do not want to see an anchor in your space. I do not want to see seashells. I do not want to see trees with the exception of real plants. But if you're doing like full on trees because you have a forest theme, this is an absolute no-go. There's so much better ways to create a conceptual room rather than a themed one. I may get some hate from this one because it really goes against veganism, but it is faux leather furniture. I get it, you know, this has been the new dynamic and the new direction that a lot of companies are going with. But these faux leather pieces, especially in high traffic areas like your sofa and your couch that you are using every day, completely disintegrate and fall apart. I will never recommend a vegan or a poly-filled fiber for these large furniture pieces because over time they crack. Even with proper maintenance, they are not leather. Leather is designed and made to withstand high traffic traffic areas, if you are getting up and down on sofas and chairs every single day, think about that constant rub count. Leather that is conditioned and properly cared for will last you its entire life. That's why leather goods end up being a little bit more expensive, because if you take care of it, they will last. These faux leather pieces, like in these pictures, show you exactly what it's gonna like in a few months' time. They crack, they peel, pieces start coming off. No amount of repairs done to these will actually end up fixing them. They are quick lipstick changes to really kind of make it look better in the moment, and they completely fall apart. My ex-partner made this mistake and bought this beautiful leather sectional off Facebook. In 2 weeks' time, you could literally peel the pieces off because of it was just dissolving from sitting on it. If you're spending this amount on these large furniture pieces, it is so much more worth it to spend that extra money on a genuine leather piece. Look into the specifics of these furniture. Make sure it is 100% cowhide leather, because genuine leather now is not as genuine. There's always a mix to it. So look at it and make sure that it is 100%. This is going to save you so much time and so much money. I recently did a TikTok on my favorite products on how to actually maintain leather, because I know I have a problem. I have lots of bags, but if you take care of them, they're going to last you your whole life, and you can actually lend them down to the next generation. This comes with the same sentiment with your leather furniture. If you also have a pet, which I'm sure you do, whether it be a cat or a dog, these faux leather pieces are going to be absolutely destroyed. One scratch and the whole thing is ruined. At least with leather pieces, even if it's slightly scratched or damaged, you can condition it and repair it with so much ease. If you are vegan though, choosing these products you need to be conscious about. I would obviously not go with a leather piece. I would look for a high rub count textile. That way it's going to have a higher quality fabric on it, so it's actually going to last you, if not as long as a leather piece, it's still going to last you a good majority of your life, especially with the prices of these large scale furniture pieces that you're spending on. Next one on the list is beaded throw pillows, as well as cheaply filled throw pillows. Two that I'm going to categorize together. One, because it is so completely fucking unnecessary, pardon my French, to have a beaded throw pillow. Yes, I get it, throw pillows are there for decor, but they also need to serve a function. I don't know if you've ever leaned back on a beaded pillow. It feels like torture. Those beads will move and it feels like it's pinching your skin, and God forbid you have body hair. It's going to pull those arm hairs right out by just grazing up against it. There is no good that comes from these pillows. They are so cheap, and I find that over time the beads start falling off, and the last thing you want to come home to is just beads that have exploded all over your sofa or your chairs.
I made some love stains on the seat. You'll see.
They really do nothing for your space. If you want to bring in that texture and dimension that the beads give you, find a heavy textile fabric that has more dimension and depth to it, and it will do the exact same thing for you. The pictures I found of them are terrifying too. On the concept of those beaded pillows, those sequin ones that you flash one way and you reveal a color and flash the other way and it's a picture, this categorizes in the same thing. They are attempted homicide. They are painful and you are not going to actually enjoy them. This is something that I would never have in my home, nor recommend. When it comes to the quality of throw pillows, my recommendation is always down, because I find it really allows you to fluff up and give you that perfect accent pillow that really adds to your space. If you go with those polyfill ones, over time they end up looking really like frumpy, like they look like the insides have been crumpled together, and it really looks really bad over time. When you go with those higher quality items, trust me, like anything I've mentioned before, it's going to last you when it comes to paying that extra premium for a down. Once again, this is a reminder, down is not vegan, so keep that in mind. There are some down alternatives, which are also a polyfill fiber, but if you are looking for the most natural contents as possible, look for something that is wool or cotton, will last you much longer than a really cheap polyester fill. While we're on the topic of these throw pillows, I want you to also keep in mind that these pillows need to be washed. If you are purchasing them online or in person, please, 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 please make sure they have a removable slip cover so you can actually wash them. I want you to think about how many times you're supposed to be washing your pillows at home. Once a week minimum. These throw pillows should be washed every 2 to 3 weeks. And if you're not, they are just absorbing odors and bacteria. And over time, they end up being really, really gross. If you need that reminder, go smell your throw pillows on your couch right now. Tell me, when's the last time you washed them? You're welcome.
Not at all, boy!
I thought this would be an obvious one, and I'm really surprised that I haven't mentioned it before, but it is gray flooring. I have a personal vendetta against this, and yes, I have it at home. Do not remind me. I hate it every single day. I cover it up with as many rugs and floor details as I can so I do not see it. There is just something about gray that does absolutely fuck all for your space. Also, if you live in Canada, we have gray and cold, dark weather for 8 months of the year almost. Why are you adding more gray to your space? Seasonal depression is a real thing, people. The 2000 flippers thought they were ahead of their time. We're like, gray everything, gray kitchen, gray floors, gray paint. And you walk in and it is the most depressing space you will ever see in your life. It literally looks like a boring corporate office. So I want you to keep that in mind when you're looking at grays. There are few ways you can do a monochromatic gray look well, and no, you can't. We're just not doing gray. We're not doing it anymore. 6th on the list is faux shutters on the exterior of your home and those interior valances that do absolutely nothing, that are purely there for show. They serve no purpose, no function, and they look super ugly. If you like the style of these outdoor shutters, like these pictures, these fake ones, do absolutely nothing. If you have those operational ones, they are a different story because they actually add that depth and value to your home. These exterior shutters are obviously storm warnings. They're designed to close on the exterior and lock up to protect the actual glass. If you see these fake ones, you can tell they are fake. You know why? Because they are literally this wide on each side of a window that is this big. A shutter will fully cover those windows. And these little ones on the transoms of each side look super cheap. They do not look good, and I would never recommend them. If you do have those real ones, they look so chic because the color is usually contrasting. If you do like this look and really want to enhance the exterior of your house, I would go with painting the exterior trim a darker color because that's going to bring that extra highlight to those windows, which is what this design is meant for. For the valances for the inside of your home, the purpose of these valances is to hide the hardware of your curtain rack or the hardware of the actual roll down blind so you don't actually see it. With the technology advancements of curtains today, most of the time those curtain rods look beautiful and aesthetic to begin with. You do not need to hide them. And having this giant valance, which is literally a box around the perimeter, adds so much heaviness to the wall of a space around a window that really detracts from the rest of the design in your home. Last on this list is picture frame molding. Now hear me out, because picture frame molding done well is absolutely beautiful in a space and it adds so much character. The major issue that I'm seeing with this trend of picture frame molding is people will use it as an accent wall. And like anything, an accent wall is literally just that. It doesn't go with the rest of the space and it really detracts from the overall design. Picture frame molding, depending on what framed molding you actually use, that is another one. I want you to make sure that the interior architecture of your home and style matches whatever molding you use. There are a million different kinds of molding and different profiles that can work, whether you're doing a super modern, just clean edge one or something that's a little bit more ornate. This style is your first guess into making sure it works well. And second is this style is meant to commit to an entire room, so it actually feels like it encapsulates it to give a full dimension of detail in every corner. If you have it as that accent wall, I'm just gonna go out and tell you that it looks cheap. It looks super cheap and it is giving the 2024 version of geometric accent walls that are covered. I had to say it, and I know you're probably gonna get angry with me, but if you do have this, guess what? You can fix it. Commit to your entire room that you've actually put this in detail in. Trust me, it is going to look so much more high-end and is gonna look way better, like it's actually meant to be there. Like I say every time, there are dozens more that I could continue to add to this list. Every single day, there are new trends, new furniture, new decor pieces that are absolutely bizarre to me. But then again, one person's trash is another person's treasure. Did I say that right? Or no, trash is just trash, okay? I'm just saying it. If you have anything that needs to be added to this list, and I haven't covered it yet because I know this series is continuing to grow, please let me know in the comments below and I can do a full review on it. I feel like I've done a handful of these videos now, so I feel like I should also do something of maybe along the lines of things that I would have in my home as an interior designer. If that's something that you'd want to watch, let me know in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching, and that's all for today. Be sure to like this video, and if you haven't already, you can subscribe to my channel. And make sure you follow me at Mr. Phoenix Gray on all my socials. And remember, if you're ever second guessing yourself, just ask, what would Design Daddy do? Not have these items. That's what Design Daddy would do.